Okay, should be live here now. Make sure all right, audio's good, video's good. So what is up, everybody? Serial Entrepreneur here for another live Thursday. Sorry I wasn't here last week. As I mentioned, I was at a bachelor party, if you've been keeping up with me at all. But tonight we have a really cool lesson, as well as our Q&A session that we're going to do. But before we get into the Q&A session, I'm going to go into something I call campaign mapping. And basically, it is one of the most crucial aspects of building ad campaigns on Facebook, on Instagram, and stuff like that. You know, anywhere where you're trying to create ad campaigns, you need to understand how to actually deliver ads in a way where you're focusing on customer intent, but at the same time, outside of customer intent, you're also focusing on company goals, right? So you're matching customer intent with your goals as a marketer and as the business. So it's pretty interesting. I can't wait to go into this. You guys, if you're watching the replay, you can go ahead and skip forward a couple minutes. From now, we'll probably be jumping into it here in just a couple, but I'm going to wait for just a sec for some more people to hop in on the live. So you guys do me a favor and just hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment letting me know you're here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Bored person full, what's going on? I worked at a company doing marketing. It really sucked. Yeah, working for a company can definitely suck. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Rex, what's going on, man? Plan on doing car dealerships. What do you think? Car dealerships are definitely lucrative. I mean, you can't go wrong with a car dealership. They have tons and tons of money to spend. God King Forever is here. Rex is here. Let's see here. All right, we got 11 people hopping in now. Cool. So as you guys hop in, just do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button as well as leaving a comment, just saying hello. And in a second here, I'm going to go and switch over to my computer screen, and we're going to go into campaign mapping, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up with a little bit of a Q&A towards the end, depending on how much time we have. Is it always good to niche down? David, pretty much in any business, it's always good to find some sort of niche to get in, whether that be with your clients or the services you offer, or just something special about your business. It's always good in the beginning when you're new to niche down. And the reason why is because if you try to go after too many things at once, things start to get scattered and you're not able to focus on one thing primarily, which means you're not going to really excel, to the highest ability at one of those areas. And so that's what niching down allows you to do, is really just hone in on that one area of expertise and become the expert in that area. But I'm going to go ahead and switch to my screen and we will get started here. So I want to talk about campaign mapping with you guys, and again, it's because of how important campaign mapping is. You really have to understand that, when it comes to having success with your ad campaigns, you have to understand where a customer is in the customer journey, along with what audiences you're trying to target, along with what offers you're trying to offer, what content they're after, how you're able to provide value. All of these things are super important to a customer, right? And so you have to figure out how you can deliver that message most effectively. The best way you can do that is to plan your ad campaigns. And this is where 95% of people who try to go out and run ad campaigns fail. And the reason why is because, again, they're not doing the proper planning and they're not building their ad campaigns to look the right way. So we're going to go through this little workflow right here, and I'm going to explain all of the different sections that are in here. So you'll see we'll talk about different ads. We'll talk about the different lead magnets that we're using. We'll talk about different audiences that we're using. We'll talk about the strategy, why I chose to do a specific thing at a specific time, right? We'll talk about continuing through the sales cycle, right? What are the next steps after they figure out that our product exists? So basically, guys, you have to think, okay, well, if someone doesn't know about our product, what's the first thing we have to do? Well, we have to get them to know that it exists. So we have to build brand awareness, right? Well, once somebody knows that the product exists, have they actually been to our site and checked out our product, right? If they have, then cool. They know a lot more than likely about our product or service, okay? So from here, we're in the point where, okay, well, they're definitely going to need more information about our business and about our product and why we're better, right? So we're continuing that process of convincing them that we are the choice as far as the product or service that they're considering. All right, so let's go ahead and we're just going to jump right into the very beginning. So if you guys have questions about this, make sure to leave them in the comments so that way I can make sure to answer them. But before I jump in, have you guys seen this map before? Have you seen me present it before? If you have, write yes. If you haven't, write no. If you have seen this before, have you practiced this method with your own ad campaigns, yes or no? And if you have not, then why have you not? Is it too complicated? Does it not make sense? Do you not have a client who's spending yet? What's the reason you might not have done it yet? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the implication that a viewer has no idea that our product or service exists. Okay? They're going to have no idea that the product or service exists, which means we have to send them some cold ads, right? We have to send them ads to get them to become familiar with who we are, right? And so that's what the goal of this whole first level is. You can see right here, all of these ads right here are basically leading up to the point where we push them to the product page, right? Where we get them to an actual product. So what we have to do is we have to understand, okay, well, what's going to get someone to our product page? So we kind of have to reverse engineer that, right? So you can start kind of from reverse engineering. Honestly, in this situation, I'm just going to start from the very beginning because I already know, okay, well, let's just say, for example, it's easier for me to just do digital marketing stuff since I teach it to you guys all the time. It's easier to talk to you guys about these examples. But basically, let's talk about someone who didn't know that digital marketing or starting a marketing agency existed a long time ago, right? Or not even a long time ago, but just like an hour ago or a week ago or a day ago, right? They had no idea that it exists. Cool. So what do we have to do to get them to make it known to them that it exists? We have to send them an ad. This is the very first thing we can do, right? And it has to be engaging. It has to be informative at the same time. It has to provide some sort of value, whether that's intrinsic value or some sort of, actual informational value or a download or just the video itself is a training, right? Some form of value that's going to get them to continue listening, right? And a really cool value proposition, meaning that you've got them hooked on something that your product or service offers that no one else does. Renee, what's going on? Maddie, what's up? So let's say you guys were, you've never known what starting a marketing agency is. So what we're going to do is we're going to send you an ad. Let's say this ad, what we're going to do is try and send you to this blog post, right? This ad right here is going to be pretty much this blog post in video form, okay? So what we're doing is we have created an ad on Facebook or Instagram and said, have you been thinking about starting a business from home or working for yourself or working online, blah, blah, blah? If so, you might want to consider the hottest business out there. We've had, there's been floods and floods of people coming to the industry because of all of the money available. And no, it's not saturated, blah, blah, just talking them into the reasons why they might want to consider SMMA. A lot of people take the approach of, I'm just going to jump on a big yacht and take really cool photos, when really it doesn't even take that much. I mean, I feel like that's a little overboard. But anyways, so all we're going to do is we'll say, if you want to learn more about this, all you have to do is swipe up or click the link or click the button And we'll send you to a blog where we explain step by step how to start your marketing agency today. All of the steps that you're going to need to know, along with some tools and resources, right? So they click, they go to this blog post, right? Cool. That's what we wanted to happen. We converted. That's why you can see up here the objective is website clicks. We would also probably run one for traffic. We would probably also run one for reach. So we would run 3 different ad objectives right here for this one campaign, driving to this popular blog post. All right. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to send, either the same audiences or different audiences a video of pretty much the same message, how to start a social media marketing agency. So it could be, a quick intro video to a training on how to start your marketing agency, and then we'll send them the full video training later on, or if they click a link, we'll send them the full video training, whatever, right? But we're going to do a video views objective to try and get them to watch as much as possible. And we're also probably going to set up a reach objective, and we'll probably set up, if we had a landing page that we wanted to send it to as well, we would set up more than likely a traffic objective or a website click objective, just depending, right? But what we're going to do here is we're going to take everybody who visited the URL of this blog. So you can see this up here. This is a URL. Well, it's not technically a URL. This is really just a file destination. But let's just say this is a URL, okay? If they visited this URL on this blog post, we're going to create an audience of them in Facebook Business Manager of people who have visited that URL in the last 7 days. That's what CA stands for. CA stands for custom audience, okay? So people who visited this URL in the last 7 days, we're going to send them this ad. People who watched 25% or more of this video right here, we're going to send them the same ad. All right, and what is this doing? Now, what we know is they have at least somewhat of an interest in starting a marketing agency, okay? So at this point, what we can potentially do is say, hey, we know you're super interested in starting your agency. How about you click on over and we'll send you a checklist to get your social media marketing agency started off on the right foot, plus 2 weeks worth of training, documents, resources, and materials that you'll get absolutely free just for giving us your email. All right, so we send that to them. Everybody who clicks through to that ad, we're going to send that to them. All right, so what are we doing here? What's the reason for doing this? Why haven't we sent them to the product page? Does anybody know why we haven't sent them to the product page yet? All right, I'd like for you guys to respond and let me know what you think. Because a lot of people at this point would have sent audiences to the product or service page or to go buy something, right? Most of you have probably done that before where you created an ad and it was the first time they had ever seen it, but you're sending them straight to the product page or to the sales page, right? So Jair says to build trust. Shane says don't sell yet, show value. So show value first, right? Those are 2 really good answers. Building trust is super important. If you don't build trust with your audience, then it's not going to matter. They're not going to buy from you, right? And then showing value, right? I have no reason to go check out your product yet if I don't trust you or if I don't value the information that you're giving me. So what's the point in me going to check out a product or a service page? Yep. God King says, don't just go for the kill. You need to provide value first. Build trust, weed out the flakes. Yep, exactly. All right, and so that's what we're doing in these steps right here. We're not worried about selling just yet. What we're doing is we're qualifying audiences to make sure that they're more likely to buy so we don't spend money on ads on people who aren't going to buy, right, or who are disinterested, right? So we don't want to do that. So what we want to do is we want to focus more of our budget on people who actually care. Well, people who actually care will read this blog article, will watch this video, will submit their information and get that training, right? Cool. So next, after we collect leads, right? This is what this audience right here is. We're going to create a custom audience basically of people who have submitted their information on this landing page. So let's say this is a ClickFunnels landing page and they submitted their contact information. Good for us. We're going to continue on through, and everybody who became a lead in the last 7 days, we're going to send to the next step of the ad funnel. people who visited this landing page and did not convert, we're going to send another ad, pretty much the same ad again, maybe with a little bit of a twist. That's about it. Or just a slightly different message. We're going to send them this ad again, trying to drive them back to this lead magnet so that way they can purchase, or not purchase, but submit their information again. Sorry, I got an itch on my foot. Okay. So, that being said, did my mouse just die? Oh, my mouse just died. No. And my charger's not down here either. Oh, well, we're using the mouse pad then. All right, so like I said, lead magnet, we have basically people who have subscribed or submitted their information in the last 7 days. That's who we're going to create an audience of right here. Okay, so everybody who's became a lead in the last 7 days, we're going to send this ad right here. And this ad says, so we know that you've seen our video, our training video on how to start a marketing agency. We know we've sent you a bunch of resources, maybe some downloads, some documents, maybe a template. We've given you a ton of free training videos. What you should do, now that we know you're serious about really getting your agency started off on the right foot, I would suggest and strongly suggest that you consider looking into some real education. And I would go into the differences, as to why education is beneficial versus trying to do it yourself. And I would go into stories of my students who tried to do it themselves first and then started taking a course and instantly saw the difference in benefit and how quickly they were able to make money. I mean, I have students who talk about it all the time where, they were struggling, they did it for 2-3 months, and then not 3 weeks after they joined my program, they were landing clients. And they felt more confident in their digital marketing abilities. So that's what I would do at this product page, right? I'm trying to, at this ad right here, I'm trying to drive them to that product page, right? So I'm giving them some reasons why. So, people who visit the product page, right? These are important people. Why are these important people? Because we know they are much more likely to buy our product or service than someone else. Sorry, let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. All right, so we know they're much more likely to buy our product or service than someone who's never seen our product page before, right? So we're going to continue the ad campaign. Well, what does this mean? This means we have to continue through the next stage of the sales funnel. What's the first stage of the sales funnel? What is the first step called in the sales funnel? And then once you tell me the first step, what is the second step in the sales funnel that we're about to move into? Yep, David, rule of 7 is super important. And guys, for those of you who don't know, the rule of 7 basically states that if they haven't seen your brand a minimum of 7 times, you shouldn't expect them to buy or be able to, well, not necessarily buy. You shouldn't expect them to be able to recall your business. The rule of 7 basically states that it takes about 7 times in a period of 18 months of someone seeing your brand before they can actually recall it and know that your brand exists in a top-of-mind situation, right? So does nobody know? I haven't seen an answer come in yet. The first stage of the sales cycle is what? Super important for you guys to know. If you don't understand the sales cycle, you're not going to have good marketing campaigns because it's all about understanding the sales cycle. So I'm going to give you guys a hint. Okay, there we go. We got an answer now. Jair says awareness. Yes. So if the first step is awareness, what is the second step? Hunter Case says awareness. Yep, that's correct. So what is the second step then? What are we moving them into after building awareness and letting them know who our brand is, getting them to trust us a little bit? It's not engagement. Second stage in the sales funnel. Think sales funnel. There's 3 parts to the sales funnel. There's top, middle, and bottom. There can be more or less depending on, not less, there can be more depending on who you think created the sales funnel or who you choose to follow. All right, so the answer, guys, and this is important, so you guys pay attention. The answer is consideration, right? Awareness, consideration, conversion is the third stage. Engagement's just an action. That's a metric that we value, right? That is something that we're tracking. It's not a stage in a sales funnel, right? Conversion is a metric that we're tracking. It's not conversion is a metric that we're tracking, but in different variations, right? But it's also a stage in the sales funnel. It's a little different. It's not exactly a metric, because conversion is just somebody, purchasing something, becoming a lead. That is the conversion metric we're actually tracking. But conversion is the third stage. Consideration, however, though, is what we're getting into. He says, I knew it was a C word. Second stage in the funnel, consideration. Right. So, guys, what we're doing here is they know our product. So this is the easiest way to remember that. They know our product exists now, so they're considering whether they should buy it or not, right? So that's why this stage, in the consideration stage, our job is to get them to understand why our product is the best, why we're the best company to work with, why they should take advantage of the offer now. All of those things. It's not going to be around forever. All of those things are things that we actually want to try and convince the audience of. 3 C's. Well, the first one's awareness. So Shane, I don't know what the first C would be, but the second and the third one are C's, consideration and conversion. All right, let's talk about the rest of this. So, product page right here, okay? They visited it. What we're going to do is we're going to create a custom audience of people who have viewed content in the last 2 days, which means you need to have your view content pixel set up on all of your product pages and service pages, right? Reason being is because if you do a view content pixel, that means you can optimize your campaigns by people who have viewed that page. If you just have the base pixel on your page, you're not going to be able to do that. Okay, so set up your view content pixel on your product and sales pages. And then what we're going to do is people who visited the product or sales page in the last 2 days, we're going to send them an ad on 5 reasons why our product is the best product out there in the entire world and why they should go buy it right now. Right? So we're reinforcing our message. We're giving them maybe some reasons why ours is better quality, or it provides more intrinsic or social value than others. It adds to it improves your overall quality of life. Whatever it is that you're trying to basically accomplish with the product or service is what you're trying to portray in the messages and in the ad campaigns that you deliver to people. So what happens from here? Well, people who view this ad, right, or visited the page or whatever, where they learn more about our product or service, right? People who viewed this piece of content, we're going to send another ad. All right, so basically, sorry. All right, let me not confuse you guys because I'm not being direct. When I say view content, people who viewed content here, not this ad right here. Okay, so people who viewed this product page within the last 5 days are the people that we're sending this ad to. Okay, so you can even set it up to be like the past 3 to 5 days, and then this person right here, or this ad is only for the first 2 days. This ad right here is only for people in the next 3 to 5 days, not the first 2 days. So you could exclude those first 2 day people. All right. It's easier, though, just to do a view content of people who have seen this ad right here, this page right here in the last 5 days. Then after that, we're going to send another ad showing authority. So this could be, an award we've received, a video about publication we've been in, just something that adds to the authority of our business. So for example, we like to use our Billie Jean video because Billie Jean is an authority in the niche. And when he goes on video to tell people how good our program is, it adds more authority to my name and my brand, right? So, what happens from here? Well, one of two things can happen. They will either potentially purchase or they won't purchase. I guess so then there are 3 things. If they don't purchase immediately, there's kind of 2 break-off options. Right here, they could add the product to cart, or visit checkout, right? Those are two options right there that could happen. And those are both remarketable actions, okay? So if someone adds something to their cart, you can remarket to those people. If someone visits a checkout page on your website, you can also remarket to those people. All right. Way to Killing Spree says, do I need to know all about digital marketing to start a social media marketing agency, or can I learn learn how to do properly Facebook ads, PPC, and SEO website optimization, and only sell those services to businesses? I mean, way to Killing Spree. Every service you basically just said. I mean, so are you saying you wouldn't do Instagram, you wouldn't do content creation, stuff like that? Because I mean, you could do all of those services, but you're pretty much doing all of the services that there are. The only thing you're really missing is email and content creation. All right. So yeah, you could totally, I mean, in my opinion, yeah, you do need to know all about digital marketing. But if you know about all of those services you just listed, I mean, that's pretty much it. You're pretty much almost there. So they can add to cart, right? Or they can visit checkout, something like that. People who add a product to cart, we're going to remarket to. Now, some of you might not have this stage in your process, right? Because you're working with small and medium-sized businesses that are local. They don't sell products online. So what would you do past this point? Well, basically, people who visited your appointment checkout pages, or your appointment setting pages, your contact pages, things like that, those are people who are moving further down your line, right? Because they usually will either come into the location, or they're calling in to set some kind of an appointment, or they're emailing to set an appointment, or setting an appointment from your website, whatever, right? All of those pages are what you're going to be remarketing to. People who take those actions and don't convert are essentially the same as people who come over here and add a product to cart or visit checkout and don't convert, right? Those are pretty much the exact same thing. Matt Hahn says, is email marketing that important? Yes, it is that important. Now, for a lot of small local businesses, no, it's not that important, because a lot of small local businesses just can't benefit. Their audiences aren't large enough. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't work for every small business out there. So don't take it as email marketing doesn't work for small businesses. It does. It just depends on the style of business, right? If we had a small business selling things online, right, just a small e-commerce business, well, that's a little different. They have a broader audience. They can sell things online versus, a small local business who has a brick and mortar location and that's the only place that you can buy a product or service. That's going to be a little different, right? You can't necessarily get an email list, especially in a population with only 10,000 people, right? You're going to have an email list of 350 people, and that's it. Okay, so now that we understand that, basically people who add to cart or, do whatever, if they visit an appointment page or whatever, then all you need to do is so what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom audience of people who have added to cart in the last 2 days or visited that checkout page or that appointment setting page in the last 2 days. What we're going to do from there is we're going to send them a gentle reminder. Hey, you forgot to set your appointment. Or, hey, you forgot this item in your cart. Go buy it, right? Something just quick and easy to remind them that they forgot to do something. Some people might convert and some people might not. And that's also what I want you to understand about the rest of this funnel, guys. Throughout this entire thing, right, throughout all of these steps, all of these ads, there are going to be people who do convert before you even need to get them all the way down here to a cart reminder or something like that, right? You don't necessarily have to have people buy at the very end. Some people will buy up top, but it's going to be fewer people up top, right? Because you haven't convinced enough people yet. Less people are impulsive when it comes to most types of purchases. So from here, we're creating another custom audience of people who have added to cart in the last 5 days. Those people who have added to cart, I would actually do my audience in the last 3 to 5 days. So that way it's not anything before the first 3 days, right? So we're not considering any of these people. What I'm going to do is I'd offer them a free shipping offer. Or if they set their appointment today, we'll give them a free Amazon gift card. Whatever you have to do to convince people to get people in there. And then after that, add to cart 7 days, right? Or visit that appointment setting page after 7 days. We're going to send them our best offer possible. Maybe this is where we send the Amazon gift card offer, or we give them a free consultation. Whatever it is, you have to talk with the business owner, but offer something. This is where you start to offer things, right? And this is where a lot of people also mess up, is because they try to run all of their campaigns just giving offers away, or just giving discounts. And unless your business model is strictly discount driven, like you're a Macy's or a Ross or something like that, then it doesn't make sense for you to always be offering a discount. You're missing out on, number one, revenue, because every time you offer a discount that someone purchases on, you're not losing money, but you've lost a portion of the money that you could have made if you would have potentially tried to convince them just a little bit more, right? Now, the final step we're going to take is the purchase thank you page. Excuse me, guys. The purchase thank you page. Okay, so I'll get to those questions. Let me finish up this last section. I'll get to you guys' questions. All right, so the purchase thank you page. Basically, what this is this is when someone actually buys, right? So if they visited that thank you page on our website, or if they visited the appointment setting confirmation page, right? That's when we know they've converted, right? They've taken the action we wanted them to take. So what do we need to do? Well, one of the best things to do is to stay in touch with those people. If they've set an appointment, you need to stay sending them messages until the day of their appointment. And the reason why is because they could either forget about that appointment, they could just prioritize it as not that important and cancel the meeting or the appointment, right? And so those messages help reaffirm why they made that decision to set that appointment, okay? So if they're setting appointments, you still want to be reminding them. If they bought a product or service, though, then you're going to want to do a little bit different of an approach. And so what we like to do is something called post-purchase ad campaign targeting. Sorry, it's late over here. And I've had a long day, and I had a long night. Anyways, so purchase thank you page, right? What we're going to do is people who have purchased the product, we're going to create a custom audience of people who have become customers in the last 2 days. Everybody who does, we're going to send a personal thank you. Just say thanks, right? It builds that relationship. It adds more trust. It shows that you went out of your way to make sure that I felt comfortable with my purchasing decision, and just to tell me thank you, right? That's more than 99% of customers are going to, or businesses are going to do. They might email you, but people don't really see email as really personal. But if you saw a Facebook ad come across your news feed, which you know someone's paying for, yeah, you're going to be more likely to be like, wow, that person actually spent money just to tell me thank you, right? Means something more. People who saw the personal thank you ad, I would probably do so you could do this 2 ways. You can do it based on people who watched so much of the video for this audience right here, or you can just do it, streamline it, and say, all right, after 7 days, once they purchase it after 7 days, then we're going to send them the next ad, okay? From here, after 7 days, we're going to either upsell or cross-sell, right? So we can sell them another product, give them a supporting product from the product they bought initially, right? Something like that. Then after 14 days, after the people have made their initial purchase, we're going to send them a request for a review, a testimonial, or user-created content. That's what UCC stands for. And that's how we get free reviews. Not necessarily free because we are paying for them. But we're paying very, very little for these reviews, and as long as your product or service does exactly what it says and people really, really do love it, then they're going to be likely to give you a review, which you can then take and post right up here in this section for your carousel testimonials, right? So you have a consistent flow of new customers coming in and talking about your products or services. Now, what I do want to talk to you guys about before we wrap all of this conversation about campaign mapping up is, first and foremost, your audiences, okay? You don't want to look at this map that I'm showing you right here and take it as set in stone, meaning I could change this to 3 days. I could change this to after 21 days to request a review. Maybe I know that my people or the people who use my product or service don't quite get through using my product until about 21 days of use, right? So it wouldn't make sense for me to send a review to them if they're still at a point where they're not sure about whether they like that product or not. The point I'm trying to make here, guys, is don't look at all of these time periods, 7 days here, 7 days here, 25% here. You need to take a look at the content you're sending them and ask yourself, what is it that really means something in this instance, right? So if I sent someone a video for the first time, right, about social media marketing and how to start an agency, and it's the very first time they've ever heard of this type of topic, I'm probably not going to expect them to watch 95% unless they're an entrepreneur. They've always wanted to do something like this. They just haven't had the right opportunity. That is the exact match of our customer a lot of the time. A lot of the time, it's also people who went to college and they just aren't happy with what they're doing outside of college, right? But if we get anybody else, they're probably not going to watch 75 to 95% of that video. So since I know that, I'm not going to try and target people who have watched 95% unless I'm only trying to get the most qualified audiences possible. But again, you have to consider that Facebook audiences need a certain size to be created, right? They have to be a certain size for it to actually be worth it. Really, an audience less than 500 to 1,000 isn't, really worth your time or effort because you're not advertising to enough people. So what you have to understand is if I increase that 25% up to 75%, my audience will be much more qualified, but it's also going to be much, much smaller. So I better have a large influx of traffic that is seeing these ads so that way I can pump up this number if I'm going to use 95%. Otherwise, I'm going to have to use 25% knowing that they're less qualified, but I'm going to be able to push more people through and try to convince them of the fact that my product or service is the best out there, right? So, same thing here with 7-day visitors. Maybe I extend this out to 14-day visitors, or maybe I only do the visitors who visit in the first 3 days. It kind of depends on what content we're sending, what the intent of that user is, what's their search intent, what's their the purpose for them viewing that ad, right? All of that is something you have to take into consideration when you're trying to move somebody through an ad flow. But all right, let me look over here at some of these questions. Do you guys have any questions about everything that we just discussed with these ad campaigns? Does anything not make sense? Hello, I've learned a lot about digital marketing from your content. I need your permission. Can I say that I've been mentored by you in my job interview? I would love for you to say that. Sure, definitely do. So if you're running all these ads at once, what is the daily budget for each? So that's a good question. Who asked that question? Adam. Very good question. So what you'll want to take into consideration with your budget is you're usually spending probably anywhere from 50 to 75% usually of your budget on cold traffic. Okay? And I say this loosely because of the fact that if you guys have paid attention to any of my other trainings, then you know that you can't just rely on the fact that Facebook is going to be our only platform for driving traffic. Okay? So for example, with a criminal attorney, they're not going to use Facebook to drive cold traffic. It just does not make sense for them to use something like that to drive cold traffic. They're going to use search engines, either organic or paid search, right? That being said, we're not even going to get to this point right here. We're going to do everything starting after pretty much the product page visit because that's all we're remarketing to on Facebook. We're just doing remarketing, right? So that being said, we're starting off with our ad budget for Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is we're creating ad campaigns for right here in this section, meaning we don't have to spend 75% of our budget up towards this area. Really, it'd be 75% in like this area right here, like all of these ads in this first 2 rows, right? 75% would be probably devoted to about this area, and then 25% would be devoted to this area, trying to remark. Actually, it just kind of depends. See, that's the thing. There is no clear cutoff of this is the consideration, or this is awareness, this is consideration, this is conversion, because really it just depends on the content, and since this is a template, there is no real clear line. If we had one of my actual ad campaigns, I could show you where it makes that transition. But let's just say the transition happens right here once they visit the product page. That's where they end the awareness stage. Right now we're into consideration. So consideration would be right here. That means 75% of your budget should be spent in this area. For that criminal attorney though, since we're not spending in this area, we're going to spend about 75% of our budget on remarketing to people who visited the product page. We'd probably extend this ad series out right here. We'd probably do a lead magnet of some kind because we're not sure if they came into a lead magnet of any kind or signed up for an appointment, right? So that's the thing. You have to understand where your budget really starts and then what stage of the sales cycle that potential customer is in on the ad campaign that you're using for that budget, or on the ad campaign that you're budgeting for. Sorry, pollen gets me here. Let me see here. Where are we at? Jair Martinez says, let's say a well-planned marketing campaign lasts for 3 months for an average business. What should one do when there's no more marketing content to offer? Basically, how can we retain a client for the long run and not run out of marketing content? Well, that's the thing, Jair. I'm not really sure how you're running out of marketing content. You can't run out of marketing content. I think, if anything, you're probably having an issue with creative block, meaning you can't figure out a way to create new content. And I'd have to know a lot more about that situation and the client and the industry and everything like that, what you've done over the last 3 months, for me to be able to help with that. So if you like, maybe we can set up a consultation sometime and we can discuss that further. But yeah, I would need to know a lot more information to be able to help with that situation. Let me see here. Where are we at? There we go. Okay. How do you get results for a cleaning service company? What do I charge more, my fee or ad spend? Well, you get results for a cleaning service. I mean, what are they? Dry cleaning, carpet cleaning? Is it, like, that's the thing. You guys have to be able. You have to understand. You can't. The more vague you are with marketing campaigns and really looking at what is required to do well, the harder it's going to be for you. You need to be as specific as possible. You need as much information as possible about a business to be able to make a judgment call. That's why it's hard for me. A lot of the times, you guys come to me and you're like, well, Jordan, we want you to tell us about this. And I'm like, I would love to tell you about that, but you're going to have to sit there and talk to me about this for another 20 minutes. That's why when I go in to meet with potential clients and I haven't sold them yet, I'm not meeting with them for 20 minutes. Usually I won't meet with someone if they won't give me an hour of their time the first time we meet, because I don't like to rush, number one. Number two, I usually can't cover all of the information I'd like to cover in a 30-minute meeting. So, that's the thing. It takes a lot of information, so I'd need to know a lot more about that. Shane, that's because it is. We're just better. We kill it. I just bought your course, and this is perfect timing as I am almost at his module. Crap, I hate this little trackpad. I really wish I had my charger down here, but I don't. Oh, wait, maybe I do. Haha, I do have an extra one. Okay. We'll be up and running here in just a second. One sec, guys. Because this trackpad is not making it easy for me. I don't even know if y'all can hear me right now. Okay. And pull this thing up through here. Alright, I'm back. And so is my mouse. No? We're not back? Sorry, guys. Hang on. Don't mean to make you wait. Oh, no. 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 Is it off? I don't know if I'm still streaming or not. I don't think I am. Maybe I am. Ah! Are we still here? Yeah? We here? Yes! Alright. Got it. Oh my god. You guys know me. We like to struggle on live nights. And my freaking... Get off. I bought this mat thing, and it is the dumbest thing for your chairs. I swear to God. Alright. Cool. We're good. Arms in the air. Cool. Alright. You guys, we're still here. I thought we got shut out, guys. I was worried. Alright, let me get back up to these questions. The whole thing was I just wanted my mouse and it wouldn't turn on. So I had to go through this whole thing. Alright. Thank you, Jordan. If anyone is on the fence, do not hesitate. Seriously, a great course. And we just updated the Facebook and Instagram sections. Dude, we've had so many people reach out to us already telling us how awesome the new Facebook and Instagram sections are. We've added in quizzes. Like, dude, the new 2.0, you guys have no idea what's coming. It's so good. I can't wait. Okay, for traffic, Facebook is secondary advertising? No, what I'm saying is for some types of businesses, it just doesn't make sense to run cold traffic ads for that business. You have to understand what type of ad you're running, what type of audience you're delivering an ad to. Do they know the business? Are they or not? Are they completely unaware? Are they semi-familiar with the business or not? Right? If they are semi-familiar, they're probably in that consideration phase if they're actively trying to learn more about it, right? And then once they move into the really, requesting more information, setting appointments, that's where they're really in that conversion setting stage where they're about to make a purchase, right? So if you look at somebody like a criminal attorney, let me put this real simple for you. It's the best way to describe it. If you look at a criminal attorney does what? They provide attorney services to people who have probably most likely went to jail, right? Or had some form of interaction with the law and, it just wasn't good. They need a criminal attorney. That being said, when do you need a criminal attorney? Well, you don't need one unless you more than likely got arrested or had some kind of altercation. And if I'm just scrolling through my Facebook news feed and if I didn't just get arrested or just get in trouble, then I'm more than likely not going to click on that ad for you to, where you're asking me to set an appointment to come meet with your criminal attorney. Why would I do that? I haven't been in trouble. I have no need for your service, right? So most of the time on Facebook, how do you market to people, or not most of the time, but with that criminal attorney, how do you market to people on Facebook who could potentially be needing that service? Well, this is just not where you market to them at, not on Facebook. They're more than likely people who are going to be actively searching for that service, meaning they're going to go and search for it as soon as they need it, right? They're not going to do any searching for it until they need it. Once they need it, they're going to go search, right? So they're probably going to start on Google, Yahoo, Bing, and they'll probably either find an organic search result or a paid search result and click on that. From there, they'll look at the attorney's website and then they'll visit a product or service page, right, for the specific thing they're looking for. That's where you would pick up your ad campaign, because it doesn't make sense to spend a bunch of money up here trying to drive leads and get people to set appointments for an attorney when the service this isn't where people are looking for it. This isn't where I'm going to go when I need a criminal attorney. I'm not going to go to Facebook and be like, oh man, I hope I see an ad for a criminal attorney. I just got arrested. Like, that makes no sense at all, right? So you have to consider what style of business or product or service you're selling, because it doesn't always make sense to use social to drive cold traffic. Now, if that same attorney has, let's say they're spending $50,000 a month just in ad spend, cool. Well, in that case, what we'll do is we'll create brand awareness campaigns and just make sure that we're constantly running brand awareness campaigns to the local community. So that way they always know us as the #1 criminal attorney, right? We dominate brand awareness in the area because everyone knows our name, right? So when they do need that service, it's why you always see little jingles with attorneys, and you always see their billboards, and you see the TV commercials, because they're just trying to build awareness. So that way when you do have that need arise, you think of their name first. Really, in the criminal attorney space, what I've learned is it's all about top of mind awareness. It's all about having your name be the biggest, right? So to do that, you have to spend money in brand awareness. Jordan, I've landed my first client and it's a good contract. I've got a couple of serious basic questions on the initial onboarding setup. It's coming up soon and making me nervous as hell. Is there a way to privately chat with you about these questions? I have purchased the Serial Entrepreneur Academy training course as well. Joe Bowie, you just need to get inside the Digital Marketing School private group. You can ask your questions there and we'll make sure to get you taken care of, man. But that's exciting. Good for you. I'm happy for you. It's nothing to be stressed out about. Just, I understand you're excited, you're worried, you want to do well. That's a good thing. You want to feel that way. So just put your question in the group. We'll make sure to get you, we'll get you looked at. I want to learn it all. Jordan had everything to do with me nailing the proposal. I'm telling you, man, that's the thing. I have done this. I can't even tell you how many times I've pitched proposals to businesses. And there's just a science to it. Once you learn how to really sell a product or service, you can kill it. But it's not only about selling the product or service. You have to understand digital marketing. And that's where we really help you with our school is we make sure you understand the product you're actually trying to sell. Because you can't sell a product you don't understand, right? So that's why it's so important to understand digital marketing. If you're not getting clients and you've talked to hundreds of businesses, you probably don't understand digital marketing well enough to sell it to them. Or it might very well be a selling technique or something you're just not doing properly. When are you going to come to Australia? I don't know, but y'all's women are beautiful, so I'm probably going to head to Australia at some point. I'm not kidding. I'm pretty serious. I mean, I love me some Australian women. And that accent, kill it. All right, we're back here. Yep, everybody's telling me. You coming to Houston in October? Yes, I'll be in Houston in October. Which landing page builder do you recommend? ClickFunnels. Way to wake us up, yo. Alright, guys, so we're going to wrap it up for tonight. We're at about 52 minutes right now, but who wants to win a mentorship program tonight? I need you guys to hit the thumbs up button, because if you don't, then you don't qualify. The thumbs up button is right below this video. And then after you do that, write a comment saying, hell yes, Jordan, I'm ready for this freaking mentorship program giveaway. Shane's ready. Let me get some water. Seriously, guys, allergies, worst thing in the world. And I'm the worst about them, too, because I'll just suffer through them and not take, like, Flonase or nose medicine or anything. Can Jordan get a hell yeah? Yeah, can I get a hell yeah? Please? Please and thank you. All right, cool. Looks like we got several people ready. All right, cool. Wait, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to boom. All right, now you can see. Hi. Okay. All right, guys, so the question for today is, we talked about it. We got real serious about it. What are the 3 stages of the sales funnel? I want all 3 in one message. All 3 in one message. 3 stages of the sales funnel. 3. 3. 3, 3, 3. 3. Jackson Morales is the winner. He was on top of it, boy. He put that thing in there. He said, I already knew what the question was going to be. Jackson, did you have that put in before I even... Bait, hook, upsell. I love that answer. Ace Bendon. Bait, hook, upsell. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. I like that. It's not the answer, but it's a pretty good answer. I'm not going to lie. Jackson Morales, You are the winner, though, so congratulations. Make sure to send a message to my Facebook business page. That is facebook.com/serial entrepreneur. And guys, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, it's just always fun. It always is a good Thursday. I love coming in on Thursday nights and sitting down with you guys and going through some stuff because you guys are crazy and you crack me up. Shane Dwight says, shit, I put it in Facebook. Well, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Hold on, like, really? Like, you sent it? He did. I sent it to my Facebook business. Why would you do that? No. Either way, I would still have to give it. Oh my God, that was too funny. I still have to give it to Juxon because he was the first person to put it, because I did just get those notifications. But that was funny. Damn it, I sent it to your messages. Alright, cool. Well, thank you guys for joining. If you guys are wanting to win any of our stuff, don't worry, because all you have to do is continue watching our videos that we release every single week. We're starting to give away mentorship programs as well on all of our videos, so you guys just make sure you stay tuned for all of our YouTube videos coming out, and you'll have your chance to win one of the mentorship programs there. And on there, we're giving them away for 3 months. All you have to do is comment, and the best answer gets 3 months to the mentorship program free. Watch the videos. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys very much for hopping on with me, and I so appreciate it. Do me a favor. When you guys come next week, bring a friend. All right, I want you guys to start bringing a friend. I want you to find a friend who is in need, who has wanted to potentially start this entrepreneurship thing, or they just seem like they could be doing more with themselves, and you're not worried about their well-being, but you're just concerned about them because you care about them. Bring someone with you next week who needs to hear about digital marketing and about starting their agency, and we'll make it a whole couples thing, and we'll make it fun. But thank you guys so much. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye, guys.